All right. All right. So today, folks, welcome to ADHD Sales Legends. There is no we today. It is just me. Um, Callie's not feeling so hot today, so he is going to sit this one out. And you know what? That's cool because he needs to feel better, obviously. So, not to broadcast the shit all over the place, but I guess I just did that. All right. So the title is Would It Be a Ridiculous Idea? Now, if you know anything about me, if you've ever received a message from me, if you've ever gotten on a call with me, probably you received this question, right? And let me explain what this means. I'm giving you literally gold right now. So I hope like hell you're writing this down because I'm just telling you right now, I've done so much work on learning how to do this, and I've actually become pretty damn good at it. So I want you to think about when I ask you this question. So if I ask you, let's just pretend that I'm calling you on the phone, right? You don't know me and I don't know you. And I call you and I say, hey, John, do you have a second? Now, what do you think? What is going through your mind? You're thinking, well, who the hell is this? What do they want? What am I committing to? I'm not sure if I even want to be on the call, right? And so you're going through all those things in your head. Well, he's looking for you to say, yes, I have 5 minutes or whatever. 5 minutes for a call, right? But you got to remember that John is going through all these things in his head. So he's thinking all these negative thoughts about getting ready to answer yes to that question. And so how do you think that's going to turn out? Well, it doesn't always turn out bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't try to get a yes, but I will tell you this. If you start out with a no, I guarantee you, if you do it the right way, you're going to get better results because I have done it over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And I'll tell you, I'm going to do it today. I'll tell you the story. So today we're going to Charlotte to see this hilarious comedian. I can't remember his name. I think it's, you know what? Screw it. I don't remember his name. It doesn't even matter. But he's on TikTok. And he does these really funny things. Anyway, he's coming to Charlotte. So we decided to do our date night tonight in Charlotte. And so we booked a hotel at a place called Bohemian. I don't know. It's Bohemian something hotel. It's like a boutique. I don't know. It's really, I usually like to go where I know the service is going to be great, where I've been before. I'm a creature of habit. But this time we stepped outside of the box, which like I said, I don't usually do that with stuff like where I stay. But this hotel's really cool because it's got this really unique, it's just got really this unique feel. This really, I don't know if you know how to explain what kind of vibe it is. It's just cool. It's just really cool. So when I get there today, as you all, most of y'all probably know that check-in time is like 3:00, right? Well, I'm going to get there about 1. And this is exactly how this is going to work. This is exactly how it's going to go down. And I'll tell you, I can say that because it has literally never failed me, not one single time. So I will walk into the hotel knowing the check-in's at 3:00. And at 1:00, that's what time I walk in. And I'm going to say to the lady, I'll walk in, I'll observe who I want to talk to. I'll find probably a lady because that usually works. And I will walk up to her and I will say, I'm about to make your day ridiculously difficult. And that pause right there is really important. It's a dynamic pause. You have to wait until she says something. Okay? Now think about this. You're a stranger in a freaking hotel lobby telling this person, this lady, you're about to make her day ridiculously difficult. Now, what do you think she's thinking? She's thinking, holy shit, this guy's getting ready to rob us. This guy, spray painted, pentagrams all over the inside of the room. Or maybe this guy's, cooked meth inside of the room. That's the shit she's thinking, because you got to think, hotel people have seen everything. They've seen it all. They've seen it all. And so when she's going through these things in her head, she's thinking of the absolute worst possible scenario, right? Absolutely right. Worst possible scenario. And then I say to her, or finally, when she goes through a few of these things in her head and she gets amped up and she's starting to think about all the things that could be wrong, she's like, what is it? I need an early check-in. Oh, shit, no problem. No problem, sir. Yeah, anytime. It works 100% of the time. I do the same exact thing if I need a late checkout. Now, I cannot take credit for this process. Chris Voss, who is a master negotiator, is the one that I learned this from. And he is a king, dude. And I'm telling you, if you think about this, you don't have to think about anything. Either way, I always get in the hotel, I always get in early, and I always get a late checkout. And I do it regardless if I need it or if I don't need it, because I want to practice. And guess what? The hotel clerk is not my customer. So guess what? I like to practice on people that are not my customer, because I'm not going to lose any money. It doesn't matter to me. If it fails, it does matter. My ego would be hurt. But financially, it makes zero difference if I piss off the hotel lady. Now, she doesn't let us in. That's a whole different story. But that's not going to happen because I don't do it that way, right? I don't. And here's what's funny. I'll tell you some. What sidebar to that. When I did this in Orlando, when we checked in last time, we go to Universal Studios every year. And when we checked in last time, I did it to the young girl. And she was like, and so I always tell them, I'm like, hey, the reason I did that was this. And they're like, oh my God, that worked. I had no idea. And so she had one of her coworkers come over and watch me do it to her. And it worked exactly the same. And it's hilarious. But it's really interesting. I wish we could be a fly on the wall. I wish we could be wish we could see inside what's going on inside of their head, because boy, that would give us some strong intel right there. Because then you can start labeling, right? And you're probably thinking that you don't start labeling in this situation, but labeling's cool. And I can get into that sometime, but I like using, would it be a ridiculous idea if you and I jump on a call? Now, here's the crazy part about that question. And if you know me, and I've ever asked you that, well, if you know me, I probably have asked you that. But so when you ask somebody, would it be a ridiculous idea if whatever, jump on a call? Most people answer that by saying, I'll jump on a call. But notice, I didn't ask you a yes-oriented question. I asked you a no-oriented question. Would it be a ridiculous idea for you to jump on a call with me? No, Corey, it would not be a ridiculous idea for you to jump on a call with me, right? Most people say, yes, I'll jump on a call with you. It's hilarious because still I get them on the call. But listen, this is an art form right here. What I'm telling you is literal gold. If you can figure out, if you just take what I've said today and you can practice this and use it and figure out like really how to use it, you have no idea. The conversations that you'll have will change. Because you're going to start thinking about different ways to ask questions, right? Would you be against bringing me a cup of coffee? Well, no, I guess not, right? And so, great. Bring me the cup of coffee. But here's the thing. You don't ever even have to say, great, bring me the cup of coffee, because they know, right? If somebody says, no, I wouldn't be against that, they know they're about to go get coffee. But here's the crazy part. And here's the, if you want to call it, and it's not trickery or fuckery or anything like that. But here's the deal. It's using language patterns to get a result is perfectly fine. In using persuasion, in negotiation, those things are important, because guess what? Lots of times, most of the time, you buy something because of this idea in your head. Once you get there, it may not be the exact idea you had in your head. It's close, but it may not be the exact idea. God dang it, my Botox, Jesus Christ. I am hurting right here. Whew, this month, getting it this month. We have been waiting for 2 months because I dropped the ball on the plane. Missed my plane last month and missed my Botox appointment. Anyway, I digress. I shouldn't have digressed, because now, as you know, I lost my place. So what was I saying? I was talking about the no-oriented question. And how, here's what's crazy. This is ADHD sales legend. So I want you to think about this. And this is absolutely 100,000% the truth. And it's really bizarre. And I'm not really sure. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe you can put your finger on it. And if you figure this out, please let me know. So when I was reaching out to people to interview, and I interviewed about 50 people, professionals in the ADHD community, doctors, therapists, coaches, mentors. That may be it. Yeah, that may be it. Anyway, and here's what I found. Now, my question to get people on the call for the book, and if you jumped on a call with me, you know exactly what I'm going to say, because you got the same message. And if I ever want to get on a call with you, here's the secret. This is the secret. I'm telling you right now, this is the secret of how I will get you on a phone call, or how I will get you to do whatever it is I would like for you to do. Not in a negative way, in a positive way, right? I mean, if I need your help, I'm going to ask you the question in a way that I get the answer that I want. I'm not asking the question for your benefit. I'm asking it for my benefit. As selfish as that may sound, it is what it is. So, when you're asking fantastic questions, you get fantastic answers. And guess what? You save yourself a whole shitload of time when you can shortcut conversations. I'll give you a quick example. So if I ask my wife, hey, where would you like to go to dinner? Well, what do you think is going to happen? She's going to say, well, let me think about that. I think that vegan place sounds good. I'm like, not doing vegan. Let's see. What about X? What about wherever? Angus Barn. Nah. What about whatever? Right? And we finally get to the answer after 30 minutes of conversation about where it is. Now, I already knew where she wanted to go, right? But I was being respectful by asking her where she wants to go, right? I'm respectful. She's my wife, my best friend, right? Of course I'm going to be respectful. But here's how I could have shortcutted, or is that shortcutted? Is that even a freaking word? Anyway, here's how I could have made that interaction, that conversation, a shorter exchange. Perfectly said, Corey. So I could have just said, hey, Autumn, you remember when we ate that really great filet at Firebirds? Would you like to go get that great filet at Firebirds? And she's going to say, fuck yeah. Right? And that's it. Right? That would have been it. That would have been the whole thing, right? That would have been the whole interaction. But instead, I went the other route, right? And so lesson learned, if you can use your language and use the words coming out of your mouth the right way, you will get better results in your business, in your life, in your just your damn everyday conversations. Like, and this is not like sneaky or anything. I don't know, it's not, you're not being sneaky. You're just crafting language where people can understand it. I mean, look, don't we all craft language so people can understand it? Yeah. I mean, I know I do, right? If I'm talking to someone that's in the lion's den and we're talking about something that's along the lines of politics, you're probably going to get a different Corey than you are that if I'm in your company, right? If I'm meeting with your team and your business, I'm going to show up entirely different than I would if I'm talking to someone in my lion's den group, right? I'm going to show up a little bit differently if you're in my Sales Legends group that I'm launching very soon. And I know I keep saying that, but I promise you it's coming along. And it really is coming along. We're getting close. We are getting super damn close. And anyway. Now, I've had some messages about it. So, guys, just hang tight. It's coming. I promise you it's coming. So, and I'm pretty excited about it, too. So, there's a little shameless plug. I'll tell you guys this. I mean, this is like what I'm telling you today is, again, this is something I learned from the #1 FBI negotiator on the planet. Well, I don't know about on the planet. My guess is the planet. This guy he's an absolute sniper. Like, he's so good at the language. And I'll tell you one other thing that and you'll notice whenever I say when I gave you the example about the hotel lady, right? I would say, when I said to her, I'm about to make your day ridiculously difficult. Now, if you notice how my tonality was when I said that, my tonality now is very different than how I said it to the front desk clerk. You see how I took that down, right? And I dynamic pause in between. So there's a reason for that, right? And here's why. Think about this. I talk fairly fast normally. So if you are listening, obviously right now, and you obviously can see how fast that I talk. And so you've got to really be on point if you're going to catch everything I'm going to say, because I'm, one, all over the place. Two, I talk fast. But when I slow down my conversation and I just talk to you in a little bit lower and slower voice, meanwhile, it's annoying as fucking shit. But guess what I just did to you? And now you're going to think about this. I slowed your brain down from sitting in my house in Raleigh, North Carolina. I just slowed your brain down sitting in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, how powerful is that, do you think? Because I would say that's pretty powerful. Can you imagine for just a moment? Can you imagine for just a moment when you get upset with your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, or wife? Right? And they're raising hell, right? You guys are fighting. And you're talking really fast and you're screaming, but imagine if you could just calm yourself down long enough to calm your partner down. And by doing that, their brain has no choice but to slow down, just like your brain is doing as I was speaking right there, right? Think about that. That is powerful. I mean, that is so freaking powerful, dude. I don't know. I don't know about you, but that is, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a big fan of it because it works every single time. I don't know about you, but I love shit that works every single time. It works every single time. Do you know how many less Do you know how many less second conversations that I have? How many less third, fifth, sixth, 12 conversations I have because I get to ask the right question the first time? How powerful is that? That is like it's a hack is what it is. Anyway, so you should use that. And again, what you're doing there is you're also making the other person. Let me just tell you this really quickly. You are making the other person feel comfortable. You're making the other person feel like you care. And you're taking them off edge by saying, would you be against us driving through Starbucks before after the exit or whatever, right? Doesn't matter what it is. It's more of a collaborative conversation, right? And I don't know if that makes sense or not. And I hope that my mic didn't go out because my ear just did something really weird. Anyway. So I don't know about you, but this is great information, and I hope that you'll take and use it. But you probably won't. Let's just be honest. You won't fucking use it but it's free, right? It's a free podcast. Why would you use something free? And I'll just tell you something right now. Like, my wife's going through this right now as we speak. I mean, sometimes you don't have to do anything, but sometimes it is best to do things sometimes for free. But I'm going to tell you something. Do not expect to get the same output from that person you're doing the free service for as you would the person that pays you. And here's why people are like, well, why don't you just do what you do for free because you love it so much? First of all, shut up. Don't be an idiot. And secondly, all of my clients have been successful. Every one of them. Every single one of them has been successful. Every single one of them has been successful. So, I mean, I've got a pretty good measuring stick of what success looks like. And so I was really going somewhere with that, but then I kind of lost what it was. But anyhow, I was just talking about how working with different companies, and I completely lost it. But anyway, ADHD sales legends, thank God we're on this podcast because you probably follow exactly what I'm doing. You're probably thinking, well, Corey, here's where you were. Oh my God, I hope you remember. And I probably will if I just keep talking with you for another minute and filling up the time for a second. At least it's probably somewhat entertaining, maybe. I am pretty excited about the hotel. And again, I know this is all over the place, but I'm trying to bring it back in, but I'm having a hard time remembering what it was. And that's okay. So use this no-oriented question, dude, because people are addicted to saying yes. You are addicted to saying yes. And so where I was going, I know where I was going. I was yelling at you because I was like, well, you're not going to do anything I'm telling you anyway because it's free. And the whole reason behind that is because people don't do shit when it's free. People do not do shit when it's free. They just don't. And, sometimes people will do a little bit, but you're just not going to get the same output as when you charge somebody money. And I'm going to tell you something. The amount of money that you charge, now fucking hear me when I tell you this. The amount of money that you charge is a direct result of, or that will reflect the result of what you get. Now, let me explain what I mean. If you say, well, Corey, I charge $100 an hour, and you and I do the same thing, and I charge $500 an hour, well, what does that tell you? I mean, I don't know about you, but let's just say you've got two people, and you're looking for a service. You've got two people that do the same service. One of them is $500 an hour. One of them is $100 an hour. Now, I suppose it depends on who you are, what decision that you make on that one. But here's the thing. You got to wonder, you have to wonder what that $500 guy is doing, right? You want to know what the difference is. I know you want to know because you're a human being. Of course you want to know. And so do I. And guess what? There's a curiosity there that drives people to want to pay that higher price. And I'm one of those people. Like, I'm no different, right? I'm not excluded from the club of buying shit or the club of, being not coerced, but being whatever. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, so I don't know, but I think this has been a little bit of a good show. Not a little bit. It's been a great show. Of course it's been a great show. I don't even know why I said a little bit. It's terrible language. We just talked about language. So I don't know. I mean, you got to watch your language. That's for sure. I don't mean like saying fuck. I mean like saying, here's a great example, right? If you're saying stuff like, and I promise after this, I'm out, right? I'm going to go because I'm randomly spitting out information. But here's the deal with language. Now, I want you to think about this. People throw around terminology extremely loosely. And I'll tell you an example. Like my daughter recently said that, I'm addicted to whatever it was, right? It was something stupid. But it was something like I'm addicted to I actually don't even remember what the hell it was. Whatever it was, it doesn't even matter. But the words addicted to, that sends a signal to your brain that says that there's something that has a hold of you, that you have an addiction, right? That you're trapped by something. And I'm just telling you that using language like that when it's not appropriate could and will, not could and will, it will develop into some of those patterns. Like, for example, if you say I'm addicted to X, Y, and Z, well, you're probably going to wind up that way. And this is my whole talk on, AA and alcohol. I just think that if you say I am an alcoholic, you're probably going to be an alcoholic. If you say I am stupid, you're probably going to wind up fucking stupid. If you say I am fat, you're probably fat. So watch your language. Watch how you talk to yourself. Watch how you speak to yourself. Watch how you, reprimand yourself. We are the biggest critics on ourselves. We're the worst critics on ourselves than we are anybody else. So I'll just leave you with that and think about that. Like, seriously. And also, I want to leave you with one last thing, if I can remember what it was. I read something yesterday that said if you're thinking about your past, you're living in misery or something. And if you're living in the future, then basically it's saying live in the damn present is basically what it's saying. I know that was a shitty example because I botched it, but at the end of the day, the point is try to be present, because guess what? I'm not always present. I'm just not. But I'm getting better at that. So you should do the same thing. Follow us. Go to HDA Sales Legends on Facebook. Go check us out on the podcast. Go share the show. Like the show. Let somebody know if you like any of the information we talked about today. Let somebody know. Help us out. Help us get this thing out there. If you don't help us, nobody's going to, because guess what? I mean, I can only share it so many damn times. We don't run ads, so we're depending on you. You're our community. You're our people. So if I could ask you all to help me out and share the show, I appreciate that. And we'll see you guys on the other side.